Well, good afternoon, everybody. This is Sue Erickson, the Soggy Stamper. It's Friday afternoon, July 30th at 3 o'clock, and I am excited to show you the this waterfall card that is made with the Kindest Gnomes Bundle. Let me grab my catalog. Well, I guess here it is. The catalog is the fall mini catalog, and the Kindest Gnomes is here on pages 42 and 43. You can buy all the things in the suite for one order number. You don't get any additional discount other than the 10% that you get with the bundle, but you get the designer series paper, which is absolutely adorable. You get some puff paint, Snowfall Accents puff paint. You get the fine sparkle adhesive back gems, and you get this beautiful Kindest Gnomes ribbon and the bundle, all for this one number. Or you can order those things individually if you want just a few of them. So with this, I'm going to be making a waterfall card. I wanted to also show you this card that I made. This gives you a little better view of the papers. This is a Cascade gatefold card, and on this one I stamped the images, colored them with watercolor pencils, and then punched them out with the dies. So you have, it stands like that. And I love things that stand by themselves. I might put some, well, I put the greeting out here, warm wishes. And then you can write on the back what you would like to say and sign it. So that was one card I have made. I am featuring this as the August bundle of the month. If you ordered the bundle from me, then I will send you a free set of 5 tutorials to use that bundle to make different cards. So the stamp set is this one. Has darling gnomes and a house. The greetings say Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. One card for 2 holidays. That works well. You gnome me so well. Warm wishes. And your kindness does not go unnoticed. You know, there are people that are in your life that are always kind, but they don't make any fuss over it. This would be a great expression to use, to send them a card, letting them know that yes, you do see what they're doing and you appreciate it. And these are the dies that come with the bundle. There's a mushroom, and then there are the dies here. You can build the gnome, because there's his beard and his feet. You can cut them out separately and put them together like that after you've gotten through. And this is its hat. And this little opening here does not cut out. I think they have it so that you can push it out instead of having the little tiny holes. So that would be his hat that would sit right down there like that. So you can create a gnome with your various designer series papers, just to your heart's content. It has some grass. It has little mushroom tops and stems that will go with it. And these ovals, I think, are to cut out. Let's say you have a red mushroom cap and you'd like to have some white spots on it, so you can cut out the spots and adhere them on top. It even has a little circle punch or die, so that you can put a little die at the top of the hat and you can make a card or a tag for it. So this is the bundle, and that's what I'll be using today. Now let me show you the card. This is so much fun. I love playing with it. It says, from our home to yours. And this greeting comes from the Leaves of Holly stamp set, from our house home to yours. I thought with the mushroom home that would be a perfect greeting for the top. Oop. And I chose this ribbon for the pole, but it does not stay tied very well. So anyway, this is the way the card works. So there's that, and then you pull it up, and you can see all the pieces as you pull it down. Push it back up, pull it back down again. Waterfall cards are not something that has been around for quite some time, but they can be so creative like this. I can see on the card having the dancing hippo, and having her first on here, and then having her be there, and then position her over here, and position her in another place over here, and over here, so that as you flip it, she actually would move. Pretty cool. So this is what we're going to make today. I've done parts of it already to save time. You can make this card as a postcard with just one layer, or like I am doing, I am going to make it as a card that can stand up on the shelf, like that. So this is 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. This is the card base. And then the two layers are a 1/4 of an inch smaller, and then another 1/4 of an inch smaller than this layer. This is one of the designer series paper designs. So that's the card base put all together. Then you need a piece of cardstock that is 3/4 of an inch. And on this card, the sample card, I made it longer and I wrapped it around the corner and under this layer. But I don't think it's really necessary to do that, because there's not a lot of strain on this as you pull the mechanism. So this is the mechanism, and I'm going to, you've probably seen waterfall cards where the sections are all the same piece. What I like about this one is, I mean the same size. What I like about this one is that this one covers up the ones that are underneath it. And I want to position this piece, which will contain the thing. I want to position it so that just about here. And I have put tear tape on it. And I think it will hold well enough. The video that I watched to come up with the measurements for these particular measurements, she stapled this piece to the card base and then covered up the staples with embellishments. But I think the tear and tape will hold good enough. We'll know. Okay, so I want this to be right. No, I think I want it to be down here. I want this edge to be at the very bottom edge of the mechanism. There. So put that down there like that. Now the pieces that you're going to fold are 3 by 4 inches, and I have decorated it on the back side with designer series paper that is a 1/4 of an inch each side. So this one is 3 3/4 by 2 3/4, 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. So there's that piece. Then the next one size is 3 by 3 3/4, and then I trimmed down the designer series paper by 1/4 inch both directions. Then the next piece is 3 by 2 1/2. So 3 by 2 1/2, and again 1/4 inch in each measurement for the designer series paper. You could skip it. You wouldn't have to put the designer series paper on the back, but I think it adds to it. And then finally, there's a 3 inch by 1 3/4 inch piece. Now the way this is going to stack up, and the reason why they're all 3 inches, but you stack them, and this one on top of that one, and this one on top, like that. That doesn't look like it's the right width. There. Gotta make sure you get them the right direction. So they all stack up, right, one on top of the other, so that when the card is waterfall is closed, you only see the top one. Most of them have the same height, same size, so you would have this one looking like that, and then you would have it like that. Well, you would be seeing this one, and then you would be seeing part of this one and part of this one, because these pieces are all the same size. So I kind of like the measurements that this gal gave. Okay, so now that's the pieces for the thing. So now let's get to the mechanism. This is 8 1/2 by 2 inches. I think this one is actually 2 1/4. Could even do 2 1/2. It's all very much up to what you want. It's not really important how wide it is. The length is the important part, and that's 8 1/2 inches long. And then it was scored at 1 3/4, and then at 2 1/2, and then moved it over to 3 1/4, and then finally over at 4. So it scored that way. And you could, I've seen them where they score, this section is a little bit narrower. This is 3/4 inch. It could be 1/2 inch. I've even seen some where they were like 1/4 inch if you wanted your cards really close together, the waterfall part. So work those score lines so they are very flexible, like that. And I have put tear and tape on them already to speed things up. So this is going to fit in under here like that. Before I do that, I want to make a decorative hole on the end, and I have this punch, and I had it labeled, I thought, as to which one it was. But anyway, it's a decorative tag punch, I believe is what it's called. And I can't get the punch to fit in there. Okay, I have to make this a little bit narrower. I'll be right back. So there is a very good reason why it has to be 2 inches, so you can fit it in to your punch. Cool. There. Okay, so this goes in under the band, and we're going to adhere this piece right here. I'll take some tear and tape. You could use multi-purpose liquid glue for this. I don't think that seal would hold it tight enough, unless you could probably use the Seal Plus to hold it. But you want it to be good and firm so that your mechanism does not fall apart. Okay, so this section, get it lined up here, goes right to the edge. So that will lay flat like that. Okay, and the first piece that you're going to put on is the smallest one. This is the 3 by 1 3/4. And I'll put this on, and I am going to use seal for this. Okay, now the next one, we need to decorate some of these yet. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. So this is going to be our greeting. That says, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I want to stamp it before I put it down. Oh, lovely. Don't want to have stray ink around. And I want to stamp it before I stick it down, so that in case it's crooked, I can replace it. Oh, that looks good enough. I can turn the paper over and replace it. Okay, now I can put this on. There. Well, okay. Put some adhesive on it, Sue. Okay, so that's the first card. Now the next biggest card is this one, and it will fit on this section here. And since I have a design on here, I want this to be able to be upright when it's pulled up, so I have to make sure that I have it down when I decorate. And I have some figures cut out. To put on the outside of them. So this is going to fit right there. One of the nice things about this designer series paper is that some of it can be die cut with the dies. And I'll show you the ones that do that in a minute. Okay, come on. Else fails, use a pin to clear the clog. I think this is so neat the gnome is being kind to the reindeer. Okay, so we want it so that it stands up. Okay, I got that correct. Okay, now we're going to take off these two strips of paper, off these two strips of sticky tape. And layer a piece on top like that. Okay, so the next one up, doesn't matter what orientation we have for this pattern, so I can just go ahead and put on. Okay, this is the two gnomes, and where did they go? They did not get cut out, so I can show you how the dies work. Move things over to the side. So this one will cut out the girl, and this one will cut out that gnome. Get that out of the way. And since this is not a magnetic platform, I'll have to use some washi tape to stick it down. Besides the fact my plates are a little bit turned. Okay, and then I'll put this one down. Put our sandwich together. Get my trusty little mini Stamp and Cut and Emboss. Cut them out. If you hopped on when I first started, you might be a little confused because the video, I stopped it almost immediately because I forgot to turn the orientation of my phone so that things wouldn't be cattywampus sideways. It's been a while since I made that mistake. Okay, so now we can put them together on this piece of card, like that. I tried putting them together, putting in the background of these pine trees, but it just was a little bit too distracting. Okay, so he's done, they're done. So we'll take off the next two strips. So once you get your cutting done, the measurements all done and cutting done, it doesn't take too long to put these together. Line this up like that. A little bit crooked. Okay, and the final one. Now this one is important, that we have our deer standing up. So when we put the mushroom house on, we have to have it flipped like that. And I have a greeting from our house to yours, our home to yours. And this is from the shapes. Just a sec. It's from the Seasonal Labels dies. They're one of my favorite. I use them all the time. They came out last year in the holiday catalog and were carried forward into the annual catalog this year. And I hope they last forever because I like them so much. Now the die is a little longer than what I want, so now I'm going to move the die down. This is how I like to shorten dies that are too long. And I'll position it again, and you can kind of move it and feel it kind of snap into the pre-cut one will snap in to where it has been cut before. And that leaves you just a tag left over. And there's our label. And originally I had put it on with Stampin' Dimensionals, but as it goes around, as you pull it around like this, it kind of hung up. So I'm just putting it on with Stampin' Seal. And then this goes on the top section. Like that. So when you pull it, It flips, and it flips, and it flips. And you can push it back. And did you notice that as I pull, it kind of wiggles a little bit? If you wanted to avoid having it flip crooked, you know, like it slides like that. That really doesn't matter. So work it a couple of times, and there you have it. I'm going to get some more of that ribbon. Okay, yeah. And this time I will tie it in a knot instead of looping it like I did. Go through there. And they can just pull. So there's your waterfall card. I'm going to make another card with flowers from the Wonderful World Designer Series paper, and have it be a garden show, flying with the flowers going through. I was going to make that to show to you as an alternative, but I didn't have time to get it finished before it was time to start. So that's it. Thank you for watching. I'll have the measurements for the pieces on my blog this afternoon. I'll upload the video to my YouTube channel, the Soggy Stamper. And if you have any questions, you can email me, sue@soggystamper.com. If you are interested in getting the series of 5 tutorials, then go to my store, creationsbysue.stampinup.net, and order the Kindest Gnomes Bundle. And I'll be happy to, then I will email you that free bundle of 5 tutorials. Thanks for watching. Come back again next Friday afternoon, and have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you later.